Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming. My name is LaVonda Graham-Williams. I'm the city attorney here for the city of Portsmouth, and I am so pleased to see so many of you, so many familiar faces and new ones too, to come here as we honor our good friend Bob Merhige. As you know, we lost Bob in November, but he had lived a wonderful and full life, and we're going to talk about that today. I will say, though, that to be sure, Bob would have hated this attention. He would have been very mad to have been in the midst of all of this, but he would have reveled in knowing that his entire office, so many people in the city, and the Portsmouth Public Library worked very hard to make this special day happen. And I want to first thank all of those people. I'm also going to try not to cry during this presentation because Bob meant so much to all of us. So first of all, join me in thanking everyone that took part in making this happen, the attorneys of my office and the Portsmouth Public Library. Thank you. It is so fitting that we are here today in the heart of our local law library to honor the memory of the man whose presence left such an indelible mark on this city, on this profession, and to all of us who had the privilege of knowing Robert Bob R. Merhige III. And as you all know, Bob was more than an attorney. He was a force, witty, determined, guided by an unshakable sense of right and wrong. We all know that. He understood the law, and at its best, it is not just about rules and precedents, he would say. It's about justice, fairness, and the courage to stand firm in both. He shared with others his love of reading, and it was not uncommon for an Amazon box to show up at our desk or our doorstep with his latest and favorite book in it. So naturally, books were among his great loves, and fittingly so, because he was a man who understood the weight of history and the responsibility of those who helped shape it. His generosity was legendary, and whether it was in wisdom and kindness or a carefully chosen gift, he loved to give. It is only right that we then dedicate this bookshelf, which is going to be in the law library on the far right, and we'll take a tour of that, many of you have seen it, in his name. It's a place where knowledge and history and law live side by side. May it stand as a testament to his legacy, his passion, and his belief in the power of learning and justice. And as he often reminded us with his favorite saying that goes, and I'm going to try to get this exactly right, I have experienced great luck in my life, he would say, such that I need not worry about fear or favor. And I will always tell the unvarnished truth. All right, Bob, stop it. And as such, I will always tell the unvarnished truth. And once he'd finished saying that, he would follow up with saying something very lovely to you. And so in that tradition, I want to say here that the unvarnished truth is that our Bob is deeply missed. But today and always, we will celebrate his life, the values he championed, and his immeasurable impact that he has had on all of us. And with that, I want to have Burl Stromberg come on up and read the plaque that we have. I'm going to try not to knock this podium down by showing it to you all. And it is also, you can follow along to what's in it. Stand here, I'll be Vanna White here. And you can read it here. Inside your programs, there's an inscription to the left, and that's what we'll be reading to you all today. Don't read on myself.
About our friend, Bob Merhige III. Robert Bob Merhige was born in West Palm Beach, Florida in 1944 to Robert R. Merhige Jr. and Martha Baker Merhige. Bob loved learning and earned a bachelor's and master's degree in criminal justice. He began his career as a police officer with the city of Richmond. He followed in his father's footsteps and attended law school at Campbell University. After graduation from law school, Bob held several positions, including a clerkship for the United States District Judge Charles Ritchie of the U.S. District Court of the District of Columbia, a post with Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Airport Authority, an assistant with the Virginia Attorney General's Office, Deputy Director of Virginia Port Authority, and as a special prosecutor with the city of Suffolk. However, and this may sound a little biased, his most loved position was as a special assistant city attorney for the city of Portsmouth. He loved the Portsmouth City Attorney's office and his co-workers, and he truly, truly did. Bob's long career was as diverse as his many talents. Bob loved history. He even decorated the Portsmouth City Attorney's office to reflect his love of American history, the civil rights movement in Virginia and the United States, and his knowledge of black history. Bob was a life member of the Tidewater chapter of the Tuskegee Airmen's Association. And as most of you know, that's been in the news quite recently about the taking down of the Tuskegee film that was on the Department of Defense. He taught the office more black history than what was ever taught in the formal school system. He also was a very generous man, and for those in whom he took an interest, he would buy gifts to encourage and foster your love of that interest. I had to tell Bob at one point to stop giving gifts to my kids. He just loved, he was just such a gift giver. I mean, the room is filled with stuff he gave us. Bob was an avid reader and often gifted books to family, co-workers, and friends. It is because of his love of books and his love of sharing knowledge and his engagement in thought-provoking conversation that this collection of Bob's books, and they're across the hall, or across the room, from his office is being dedicated to the Portsmouth Library System in his honor. In our hearts, your memory lingers, sweet, tender, fond, and true. Never will your memory fade until we all meet again. Thank you.
Very good. And just like Bob, short, sweet, and to the point. We thank you all for coming. That concludes the presentation portion of our program. If you would all follow out, and we'll show you where the books that we've dedicated to him. Bob left us with so many books. I mean, there were tons of books in his office. There were books that were still showing up. And we just thought it was best that we be able to provide that to the community of Portsmouth through circulation at the Portsmouth Public Library. So that section means a lot to all of us. So pass along the idea that those books were Bob's favorites, and I think some of us even donated some that he'd given us. So please head out to the front door, over to where the books are. We'll take a tour of that, and then come on back in through the back door and enjoy some refreshments. Thank you all for coming.